Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella. Discover the dark side of love in this goth and lovely romance with Spinsterella. Get Spinsterella in paperback and e-readers at your favorite online bookseller today.
If a man can't get respect from a woman, then he has no reason to pursue a relationship with her. Now, many women out here wonder why men don't call them after getting their phone numbers, or why many men cut off contact with them after a certain meeting. And the reason why many of those men cut off contact with a woman is because this woman has shown him disrespect. Now, many of these women will sit there and say they don't know how they disrespected that man, but that man noticed something in that meeting that they had that left a negative impression on them. Now, whenever a man is out here with a woman and he's still sitting and talking to her, he's listening to everything she says, and he's listening to how she says things. And oftentimes, one of the big things that turns off a guy is when a woman has a slick mouth. And some of these women out here, they go out here and they say things and that they think are harmless, but the guy can pick up on it and see it as a shot taken at him. Now, some of these women with the slick mouth, they will sit there and take a jab at a guy's job, a jab at a guy's college, a jab at a guy's clothes, and they'll think that they're trying to, underhandedly take a shot at the guy, but what happens is the guy catches that shot, and that's the thing that turns him off, because he understands that if he gets involved with this woman is supposed to be a reflection of him, and if she's being disrespectful at him this way in a private meeting, then she will try to embarrass him in a public situation. So a man, when understanding that he can't get respect from a woman with a slick mouth, he will then cut off contact with said woman because this woman is showing him disrespect in the initial meeting. And because she's showing him disrespect in the initial meeting, this is showing that this woman is not compatible with him to be a partner in a relationship. Now, in addition to the slick mouth turning guys off, you will have some women out here who will mock a man during a conversation. And mocking is also extremely disrespectful, and this is the woman showing that she has no respect for this man and the way he carries himself. For example, in many cases when I was growing up, I would be speaking like I am right now, and sometimes when I was talking to girls, they would repeat what I said and try to do an imitation of my voice. And that, as I saw it, was a major turnoff because, again, here I am presenting a point to the woman, trying to show her respect, and instead of her showing me respect, she shows contempt for me, because when you mock a man, you basically are saying you don't respect that man, you don't respect what that man is saying, and you don't respect the way he is speaking to you. And if you can't respect the way this man is speaking to you, you don't respect that man in a relationship enough to see him as a leader. And when a man sees a woman mocking him when he's speaking, he sees someone he does not want to have a relationship with, because this, again, is a person who will embarrass you in public. So when a man sees a woman either going out here and using the slick mouth and making slick comments or mocking that man, he's like, I'm not interested in dealing with this woman any further. And after he sees her acting like this, he finds a way to leave said woman, and he'll leave quietly and then never have contact with that woman again, because he understands he's not getting respect from that woman. Now, in addition to the mocking and talking slick, being things that can turn a man off. When a woman goes out here, she can also express her contempt for a man with her eyes. And some women out here, they will just either give you a indifferent look or a cold look, and some will give you the pointed daggers look. And once a guy sees those facial expressions, he's practically done at that point, especially on an initial meeting, because he knows that if he can't get respect as related to the way this woman looks at him, he knows that this is not even going to even get started, because usually a woman knows whether in the first 5 seconds of looking at a man whether she wants to have a relationship with him. And if she's looking at a man and expressing contempt with her eyes, then it's practically a done deal. And if she's going to show you disrespect as related to her eye contact, then there's no reason to continue pursuing the relationship. Now, another way women can turn a man off is not only with the slick mouth and the mocking, but talking down to a man. And when you talk down to a man, you are basically saying that this man is a child and that you see him as less than yourself. Now, I've run into this for many years whenever I would run into women, and it would be the first thing to turn me off is to hear a woman approach me and then start talking down to me. And I would know that at that point, this woman is not showing me any sort of respect, because once you start talking down to a man, that's when that man just looks at you and he's practically done at that point, because when he engages you, he wants to engage you on an adult level. And if you don't see him as an adult, then he doesn't want anything to do with you, because he knows that he has no respect from you. So when a man sees a woman out here and she's talking to him in a childlike tone, or she's talking down to him and trying to explain things to him in a childlike way, that is just an expression of contempt for that man as related to his manhood and his masculinity. And it's a sign that this woman has absolutely no respect for that man. So whenever a man sees that right there, he's practically done at that point, because he's not going to try to earn your respect and try to get you to see him as an adult. If you don't see him as an adult and show him the respect of an adult, he's not going to even try to convince you, because he's the leader, he's the head, and if he cannot be the leader and the head as related to you, then he's not going to sit here and allow himself to be placed in a position where he's submissive to you, because you're not going to see him as somebody you respect or regard. No, you're going to see him as somebody you have contempt for, because you see him the same way you see a child. And these are little cues that can tell a man whether he's connecting with a woman. But many women, they will sit there and wonder, oh, why is this guy not calling me back? Why is this guy cutting off all contact? Well, it's these little things that let him know that he's getting his respect, because if he sees these cues that let him know, oh, this woman sees me as a man, this woman is willing to treat me with the respect a man deserves, this woman sees me as a leader and an authority figure, and she's going to acknowledge my leadership and my authority by behaving in a way that shows she sees value in me as a man and sees me as somebody she needs to give respect to. And the way a woman shows a man respect is in the way she approaches him. She approaches him by looking him in the eye, giving him a smile that's genuine from the heart, because a man can tell when somebody is giving him a genuine smile and a pasted on smile. And she talks to him in the same way she would talk to an adult, and she does not talk down to him, she talks directly to him. and she shows him that she is looking to be a partner in a relationship once she shows you respect. And once a man sees that he can get respect in initial contact, then he will feel confident about further pursuing a relationship with that woman. But if he does not see respect from minute one, then you have made a negative first impression on that man, and that man has no longer any interest in pursuing you. Now, I remember being, again, in high school and junior high school, and when I started to see females approaching me, and they would approach me by talking down to me and mocking me, these would be things that would turn me off and make me say, we're done at this point, because you're not showing me the basic respect you would show another man. Now, you would show a Pookie that respect, but if you don't show me that respect, then I have no interest in pursuing anything with you. And even though you could sit there and say you like me, I already know that you don't respect me, and if I can't get any respect, then there's no reason to pursue the relationship, because like is a feeling, respect is an action. And if a man can't get respect from a relationship, then he's not interested in having that relationship with that person, because his respect is the first intangible in a relationship, and his respect is the most essential part of a relationship. If he can't get that intangible in the first contact, he's going to cut all contact off, because without respect, there is no relationship, and without respect, a man has no interest in continuing to pursue a relationship with someone, because if he cannot be seen as someone who is valuable enough to be seen as a leader and a figure of authority, then that man has no interest in pursuing that relationship any further, because he knows after this there will be more slick mouth, there will be more mocking, more expressions of contempt, and the disrespect will escalate as the relationship goes on. And life is too short to sit there and bicker and argue with a female who will not show you respect or make efforts to sit there and try to earn that woman's respect. That woman decided how she wanted to have a relationship with you within the first 5 seconds of looking at you. So why should a man waste his time trying to convince a woman that he is so respectable if she does not see him as anybody that she should respect? It's not worth my time to try to convince you that I deserve respect. Either you're going to give it to me, or I'm going to leave you alone. That is what a healthy man does as relates to relationships. He sees that if he's not getting respect, he's done. And if he sees a woman expressing these small forms of contempt towards him, then it's time to cut the relationship off, charge her to the game, and keep it moving, because it's the core foundation of a relationship is respect. Without respect, you can't get cooperation, and without cooperation, you don't have a relationship, because it takes two of you working together to have a relationship. And in order for that relationship to work, you have to have the respect first. And she shows you respect in those little things that she does. And it's those little things that show you that your relationship is working. Because, again, if a man can't get respect from a woman, then he's not interested in having a relationship with her. He could care less about how good you look. I mean, you could be the most beautiful woman in the world, but if he can't get respect, he has no interest in having that relationship with you, because there's nothing there that he can build upon. Because if you don't value him as a man, and value the things that he does, and value the way he goes about living his life, then how can he have a life with you? That's a critical question I have to ask, because a lot of women talk about how they like a guy based on their feelings, but a man understands that love only grows where he's respected, and when a woman shows respect, that's where a man knows that he's loved, because a woman, again, shows her respect for a man in the little things that she does, and it's those little things that a man notices that let him know that he is loved, he is valued, and he is respected, and he is seen as somebody who is the apple of her eye and the center of her life. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my books on the SJS Direct imprint, like the Spinsterella Trilogy, The Recipe for Success, The Temptation of John Haynes, and the ISIS series and the E-Steam series and the John Haynes series, you can find all of those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.